Hello, welcome to Dream Team Scout. This is your boy Tage, giving you my tips for Game Week 12 of the Sun Dream Team Fantasy. If you just watching the channel today, please share, subscribe, and like. And yeah, Game Week 12 is a different one. It obviously comes on the back of internationals. So as content makers, we feel refreshed, ready to go. Shout out to other fantasy Dream Team channels. And shout out to Dream Team Professor, who sort of made it known that he went on holiday with his missus, and he had to he had to convince her to go on a holiday during this 2 weeks international and not the week after. But anyway, let's not waste too much time. For Game Week 12, there's a small pool of players I'll be targeting. Reason why, because I feel like I don't think there's much going on with regards to so many interchanging. It's just getting you those players right now that that pretty much makes sense, bang on form or the differentials. Okay, so I'm going to start off with in defense. I'm going to start off with Man United, and that is the guys we've got in Mazraoui. So as you can see, Mazraoui is like 3.8 million. Game week 11 points to score 10 against Leicester, and he's got a total of 91 points, which ain't bad, bro. It's like he's averaging 5.4 points every game week, and his best performing points in a single game is 10 points. So not a bad shout. United got Ipswich and the team from, I think it's in Norway, I'm not too sure, Bordeaux at home. And then in game week 13 they've got Everton and Arsenal. So obviously I know Arsenal away to Arsenal is a tough place to go, but Everton at home, they could keep a clean sheet. And under the new management, I feel like everyone will be buzzing. So I'll probably say definitely Mazraoui is definitely a good shot, 3.8 million. And you could go one further with doubling up two Man United defense, because I feel like they could keep a clean sheet against Ipswich or the team in Europe. And if you are going to double up, then you could bring in Dalot as well, who's 4.2 million, so a bit more expensive than Mazraoui. Should be going down in value because he didn't get much points this game week 11. I think he got 2 points because he got subbed. Pissed. He got subbed before 60 minutes. So I'll probably say definitely out of the two, I'll say Mazraoui. But as a strategy, my little tip, I would say probably double up in United defense. Yeah, that would be a good shout for that. And then if we're moving on from the the Man United defense, we could bring it back to Timber of Arsenal. It's 3.8 million. His value would be going down at least by 200k. That's why I predict. He's got 2 points against Chelsea. He's got a total of 48 points. It's averaging 3.7 points per game. Best performing points 8. Listen, those stats stinks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Those stats stink. However, Arsenal have got Nottingham Forest at home. I believe we could keep a clean sheet that game. Nottingham Forest don't really score that much goals. If you had Chris Wood and Locker, you're pretty much taking 70% of the goal threat away. And Gabriel and Saliba should be able to handle that just fine. So I think a clean sheet is definitely feasible against Nottingham Forest. However, to Sporting though, you saw what they done to Man City. Cleocarass! Yeah, so I don't see much of a clean sheet in that game. However, game week 13 we've got West Ham and then the Man United. So West Ham we could keep a clean sheet. I know it's a derby, but West Ham are not really in great form. So I'll say Timber is a good shout. It's 3.8 million as well, just the same price as Mazraoui. So if you don't want to double up with two United defenders, you could edge your bets here and do one Arsenal, do one Man United. But yeah, I'm still leaning towards the double United, but I would say Timber is also not a bad shout. If you are going to bring in Timber, buy and hold, yeah, that would be it really, because I can't really suggest anyone in the Arsenal defense. They're a bit too expensive. Gabriel, Saliba, and White is injured. Tomiyasu is a signal. Zinchenko is a liability right now. They don't trust him. So yeah, I would say Timber if you are going to look into changing your defense. And then in midfield, I think the man of the hour, the man for the last few games, and I know it sounds weird, it sounds bizarre, it sounds like, but it's Bruno Fernandes. The guy's been raking in points for this last few games. So in his last 4 games, my guy scored 56 points in 4 games. Do you know how crazy that is? To score 56 points in 4 games, that is wild. That is absolutely wild. That's like scoring 14 points per game, if my math is correct. So you wanna definitely bring in Fernandes. It's 6.1 million. Should be going up by 200k. My prediction. Game week 11, he scored 17 points via Leicester. He scored a total of 111 points, which is quite modest. And we've been screaming out that Bruno has been before Bruno. I mean, what Palmer used to be was what Bruno was. Where you every week when you contemplate not bringing in this player, you're thinking, oh fuck, please, this guy shouldn't shouldn't get crazy points. But now I think he's found his rhythm, and now with new management, he had a good rest for Portugal the other day because he got a yellow. And it's averaging 6.9 points. Every game week, best performing points 18. Like I said, last 4 games he scored 14. So he's actually. He could actually rake in those points. He could actually rake in 18 points against Leicester. They would, against Ipswich, they would always concede chances and give you the opportunity to have a go at them. So I would say definitely Bruno is the definite must shout. If you are going to bring him and just hold, because they got the fixtures they've got in Ipswich, Bordeaux, Everton, and Arsenal. Bruno could, do his thing. Alternatively, if you don't have no money for Bruno, you could go for the cheaper option in Ganarcho. He's 4.1. He's got 108 points. So he's been decent. He's right up there with Bruno. He's averaging 6.4 points per game. His best performing points was the 24 points a few weeks ago against, probably like almost 2 months ago against Barnsley in the League Cup. And game week 11 points. He came in and he got his, he's got his goal, got 8 points, so he's decent. I don't think his price value should go up. Probably should remain the same, but he's worth a shot. If you can't afford Bruno, I would probably say this would be the guy to sort of go for to mitigate against the loss of not having Bruno. Once again, if you've got Bruno already or you go for Bruno, I'd probably say once again double up. It's a Man United cast right now. I would say probably double up in midfield as well with Bruno and Ganarcho. It's not something that I normally favour. But as you could see, even in my team, as you could see on the left-hand side of the screen, you could see I've got Ganarcho and Fernandes. So why not double up? I'll just be looking into the defence and definitely trying to get one United guy in there. Who knows? I might do 2 United players in there. So, double up. That's what I'm saying. Just got to double up, man. If we're moving from Man United, Bruno, then I would say, before I say this one, I beg you don't bite my head off, because I know people been struggling with this guy. Pep's been saying his form's been watchy. Did I say what? Watchy? His form's been wash. But it would be Phil Foden. He's 6.1 million, same as Fernandes, but it's a different contrast. His value should go down this week by at least 200k. He scored 4 points the last game week. V Brighton. He's got a total of 74 points. Ain't that great? Averaging 5.3. Best performing points 14. This guy was the player of the season last season. What happened for him, man? Like Lloyd Banks said, he used to be the man. What happened? So listen, but then the fixtures for City. Game week 12, they got Spurs, then they got Feyenoord, and game week 13 they got Liverpool, then they got Nottingham Forest. Bar the Liverpool game, I think Man City could beat Spurs, because we saw what Spurs done the other day, bro. Had a turned over by Ipswich and got turned. They give people points when people really need points. That's what they do. And as an Arsenal fan, I ain't even saying this just to come at Spurs. This is what they do. They be giving you points. They're like, go ahead and have the points, but you need some points. You need to keep your job. You go ahead, take the points. You really need to get your first win of the season. Go and take the points. You need to come out of the slump, like you've lost 4 games. Go ahead and take the points. So I think City could do their thing here. And if anyone from City is going to rise up to the occasion, I'm believing Phil Foden. I know there's issues around his fitness, obviously not being picked for England and not doing his thing, but I would say this one would be only for game week 12 only though. Like, it's just an experiment. I would just say, if you've got the Fernandes, the Garnachos, then I would say, go ahead and let slide this kid in. If you don't, then I would say bring those guys in. If you do, then you could take a risk on them. But yeah, I would say Phil Foden. After I feel like Spurs and Feyenoord, people might overlook Man City right now because they think they're not really in good form. But I think yeah, he could pop definitely. And then if we look further, and I feel like if we go into the striking department, I was scouting for strikers this game week, and like Isak came into mind and stuff, and I know, but the only thing is they got just the one game, and I know sometimes you could score. I mean, what you could do in one game week could outscore a striker on what he does, in 2 game weeks, but I thought about Isak against West Ham. I was like, nah, you know what? Let me just let that slide for this game week. I think for the next game week 13, then we could consider definitely Isak and see what he does. But for this one, I'll be saying Nunez of Liverpool. It's 4.2 million. It's going to definitely increase by 200k at least. Game week 11 points was 11 against Villa. He did get that goal. His total points are not great, 6-5. He's averaging 4.6. Best performing points 12. So if you're a man of stats, once again you will see that and be like, he's okay. But yeah, I would say the Southampton game though. Southampton game is just something that you wanna feast in. It's one of them ones where you come back home from work. As soon as you come home, you got the food smelling all over the place. It's ready. And they say, eat. Trust me. So that is Southampton. I feel like if he plays in this game, yeah, he might pop. The only thing is, how long is he? He's going to play the entire 90 minutes, considering they got Madrid midweek, and his exploits with his national team. So, but it's one you could take a gamble, and I feel like even right now, maybe the best formation to go is 3-5-2, because Haaland has not been in great form. Salah has been doing his thing, but then you have people like Watkins, hot and cold. Well, he's been cold for a minute. Solanke definitely hot and cold. Jackson, hot and cold, doesn't play most games. It's like every week you're just juggling like what other strikers to put to complement the other two in Haaland and Salah. But yeah, so once again, if you were just thinking to do something different, I might go for Nunez. A few people brought him last game week, and they probably will be keeping him because he did score a goal. So yeah, I would say yeah, fucks with Jackson, man. Fucks with Jackson, Nunez, sorry. And that will lead me to my next player, Jackson. So he couldn't wait to get his name out of my mouth. Jackson at Chelsea. Jackson. He's another one. Like I said, he's hot and cold. But if you want to take a risk in the team, and if you've got the other players in defence, because I feel like this game week is going to be focused more on United players. That's it really. But I would say Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea have got Leicester. He's 4.2 million. He's got total points. He's got total points of 82. He's averaging 7.5 points per game, which ain't bad. Best performing points is 21, where he's got the brace and the assist. And then obviously he ain't gonna play again. He ain't gonna play midweek. But this game against Leicester, you could bring him in. He could bang in a brace. What if? And then game week 13, they've got Aston Villa and they've got Southampton. You could feast on that. So you could be a strategy. You could bring him in now, although his value might go down. And then you could do wonders against Leicester. Who knows? But those would be the two strikers I'll be sort of saying that you wanna probably just go for if you are finding an alternative. Solanke, I don't like the fixtures. I think they got City and they got Roma. Even though Roma even though Roma just appointed Ranieri, it's also a thing where the fixtures are not great. Watkins is just they got Palace, and I think Palace is decent. Palace you probably could get at with Watkins, but then they got Juve. Juve have been in good, decent form this season. They've probably considered only 7 goals in the league and scored 21 goals. So I would say, that's not really, yeah, that's not really the striker right now. So yeah, that is it just for this game week, man. Just game week is a bit of a, like I said, is a tough one because the fixtures are not great. Arsenal not in great form. City are not in great form. Chelsea don't really have enough players playing both games. Aston Villa on the same wave. They've lost probably four. They've lost 4 games on the bounce. Tottenham got hard fixtures, so you can see what's happening now. The pool this week is just dire. We just have to all eat from the same, eat from the same plate, restaurant. But yeah, it is what it is. And then for captain this game week, something I've been thinking about, I would say Bruno. Bruno will be my first choice this game week as captain. So, my second choice would be Salah, and then Haaland. How is Haaland on the third choice now? But that will be my pecking order as captain for this game week. I would say Fernandes, Salah, and Haaland. That would be. But yeah, the choice is yours. Like Bane. Do as you please. None shall interfere. But first. But yeah, listen. Yeah, so that is it, man. That is it for this game week with regards to my tips, my selections. Just keep an eye on the screen on the bottom. Once again, on the bottom left-hand side, you will see the tips on there. So just to keep your brain sort of thinking along those lines. And then for my team, when I think about my team, what I intend to do with my team, you could see I've got, I've already got, I told you about the formation. I'm on a 3-5-2 tip. I scored 88 points this game week. Total points is of 1,160. So I'm not doing that great. But it is what it is. We're gonna rise. Yeah, and I'm thinking in my team I've got Lewis, Hall, Gavio, and Leno in defense. Saka, Ganarcho, Johnson, Nunez, Fernandes, Haaland, and Salah. So definitely contemplating. I don't know. I'm actually contemplating one of my City defenders to go, and I'm thinking Nunez might go. So I might probably do a double in having Nunez and Lewis off, and then bring in Mazraoui and Dalot in defense, and just going old school 4-4-2, and having Saka, Ganarcho, Johnson, and Fernandes in the team. And yeah, I think that's what I might do. Probably, yeah, I probably would just keep it narrow as that for this game week. Or alternatively, I could probably move. Probably could move one of my City defenders because they just keep conceding, and even though Lewis and Gavio are really good picks, but it's a bit frustrating. Hall has been decent, so I'm gonna keep him just until probably next 2 weeks. Then he might leave, or I might just take off Nunez and Johnson. I might bring in Mazraoui, and yeah, I might look towards Jackson. Who knows? But yeah, it's what I'm thinking. But I'm not too sure. So those would be the 4 players. I'm just thinking I might go Jackson up top. And then I would go for Mazraoui in defense. So that's yeah. Who knows? Yeah, then that would make it 4-3-3. If I have to have Saka, Ganarcho, and Fernandes in midfield, take out Johnson for Jackson, and then Nunez for Mazraoui, or I could, take off Nunez for Mazraoui, and then Lewis for Dalot. But who knows? But yeah, it is what it is, man. It's not easy out here. But yeah, listen, if you're tuning into the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Just trying to get to the top. DreamTeam Scout, over and out.